Today on Facing Life Head On, crisis pregnancy centers have had mobile medical units for years, but what's different about this one is it has a portable ultrasound unit, and where they park may surprise you. This week, our cameras and crew traveled to the most populous city in the United States, the Big Apple. There, in the heart of the Bronx, we met a team of pro-life crisis pregnancy counselors. Since abortion kills 125,000 unborn babies in the metropolitan area each year, their group faces an overwhelming task.
New York City is the abortion capital of America because we have the highest number of abortions of any city in North America. We have also the most abortionists trained in any one city. We have the highest rate of late-term abortions in the U.S. Our counties also, besides the District of Columbia, have the highest rate of abortions. In this county of the Bronx, we have nearly one live birth for every abortion. The abortion clinics, over the last few years, they have been spending phenomenal amounts of advertising dollars in competition with each other to get women in. There's over $5 million in annual expenditure in Yellow Pages directories in this market alone, advertising abortion through 24 weeks. It's just absolutely abhorrent, and there's no way we can spend that kind of money to compete with the abortion clinics, but we can compete with guerrilla marketing. So Operation Frontline is an effort to combat this aggressive advertising and marketing by the abortion clinics to reach in to vulnerable girls and women.
Operation Frontline is a project run by Expectant Mother Care, a network of crisis pregnancy centers located throughout New York City. EMC was the first group to open in Manhattan and the only one still running centers in the Bronx.
We're the oldest and the largest of the crisis pregnancy centers in this city, and we have been operating from our beginnings in Manhattan, and we expanded into the outer boroughs of Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and now we're also in the suburbs in Jersey City, New Jersey, and in White Plains, New York.
How many women do you see throughout the centers in a year's time?
Well, over the last 22 years, we've counseled over 70,000 girls and women, and we've turned 17,000 of those that were planning on an abortion away from that towards a certain life choice.
But with thousands of abortions still taking place, Chris set out to do more.
You know, when you have over 100,000 abortions in your market a year, and you're running already over a dozen clinics, you ask yourself, well, should we be complacent? Should we rest on our laurels? Should we say that we're satisfied, we've got enough going on to stop the abortions? And there's no way I can say we're doing enough when we are killing so many innocent little babies. We have to do more.
That's when New York City's first free pro-life mobile ultrasound clinic debuted. A 32-foot late model motorhome was retrofitted and equipped with a portable ultrasound unit. At 7:30 in the morning, 6 days a week, the RV is parked on the street, directly outside one of the 80 abortion facilities in the city.
We are intercepting women at the abortion clinic who obviously already have an appointment to get an abortion. So it's a last-ditch effort, if you will. You're not relying on advertising to get women in or referrals. You're relying on, a very kind, soft, gentle approach, but with professional backup vehicle, working with sidewalk counselors, those that talked with women with brochures in their hands, without touching them, without blocking their ways into the abortion clinics. You're imploring them.
I talk with women about the reality of abortion. and about their situation and what we could offer them.
The day we visited, Julie and Wadia spoke with teenage friends, Liz and Pamela. Both were on their way to the abortion facility for medical care.
We was going into the clinic, and then Mark, he started talking to us, and he brought in here to see if she could get us another doctor, because he said it's not good in there. It's good that we came in here and we didn't go in there with those doctors, but yeah, we're happy that she got her an appointment now.
Others, like Ashley Hernandez, come into the RV for free pregnancy testing and sonograms. Wadia, EMC's ultrasound technician, says women who approach the RV are still free to make their own decisions without pressure or coercion.
One question that I do ask them is, are you keeping it? But I feel it's not really my job to talk to them unless they're open to it.
Some people are critical. They say, oh, you're just going to lure them in there and give them a hard sell. You're going to, try to force women to have a baby. And I say, look, no one is forcing anybody into this vehicle. People can come in on their own free choice. They can leave at any time. And we have had girls and women that come in, they watch a DVD, they sit down, they talk with us, they change their mind. They don't want to get an ultrasound, and they leave, they walk out. So, I mean, what's wrong with giving women another option, another choice, another opportunity to take a time out, have a time to rethink, take another look, take a second look before making a choice to abort, which they can never change. They can never bring back the baby that they destroy. They can never make up for that baby that's lost. They'll regret it for the rest of their lives, and this is their last hope in the abortion capital of America. We are literally the last line of defense for those children and the last line of hope for those mothers.
They don't know what goes on. They don't know what's happening with them when they're knocked out. And that's the first thing I ask them. Do you know what's going on? Do you know the different procedures? Has it been explained to you? And lots of them tell me no. And then that's when I ask them, well, would you like for me to explain it to you? And I explain it to them, and they're like, really? Yeah.
So would you say then the average woman is not well informed when she goes in?
Yes, I would be. I feel very confident in saying that. Very confident.
When we come back, we find out how abortion facilities are responding.
They're very upset, and they've been calling the police, driving the police crazy.
Thank you for inviting us into your home. Each week we feature real people who deal with real-life issues head-on. Some of their experiences are uplifting, while others will break your heart. But in the end, the message is clear. Those who follow biblical principles on the issues of life are blessed. Become a partner with us in providing a positive, life-affirming message to help change the way the next generation values innocent human life. Please consider a generous gift to help offset the costs of producing this important quality programming. You can donate on our secure website at facinglife.tv or by calling the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. Together, we can make a real difference for life.
This week, we followed a team of pro-life counselors and their mobile ultrasound clinic throughout the Bronx in New York City. Settled predominantly by Hispanics and African Americans, the Bronx is also home to a startling number of abortion facilities. Research shows the abortion industry targets disadvantaged and minority women. Pro-life advocate Chris Slattery says he'll do what it takes to reach disenfranchised women. Slattery heads New York's EMC Crisis Pregnancy Centers and recently launched the city's first pro-life mobile ultrasound clinic. The RV is parked outside major abortion facilities 6 days a week.
We're focusing at the largest abortion clinics right now in the South Bronx, literally many times parking right on the curb, 15 feet at most from the front door of the abortion clinic. All done peacefully, legally, completely ethically. We have medical backup. We use radiology labs to read our ultrasounds. We're doing everything professionally, by the book. And listen, this is what it takes to save lives. We have to go the extra mile. We have to take this to the next level, because we can't just sit back in our offices and wait for women to come to us. We have to go to them.
What's been the response from those who work in the abortion facilities? Are they a little upset by what you're doing?
A little upset would be an understatement. They're very upset, and they've been calling the police, driving the police crazy, and the police are so fed up with their crank calls and hysterical reaction to us that the police are practically siding with us and giving us a lot of sympathy and empathy and helping us in their little ways that they can to be, there when we need it. They'll listen to us, but they're just leaving us alone. They're letting us do our job, and they realize we're doing nothing wrong, and so we've been pretty much operating without any serious obstacles. We're out there at usually 7:15 in the morning in front of the front doors of the abortion clinics, literally before they open. We get good positions, good parking spots, as close to the doors as possible. We keep them guessing as to what days we're going to be where by moving around to different places so that they don't secure the parking spots.
The project is quickly gaining momentum.
We're also getting a lot of women just on the street that we're able to speak with about their experiences with abortion. Just by standing out there, you end up speaking with all the women that go by, because you don't know who might be heading in and who might not be. So we're inciting a lot of interest in the work itself, and just really hearing a lot from the neighbors. What do the neighbors really feel about abortion?
Many of these abortion clinics are located in the inner city neighborhoods where you have women who have lack of resources, they have more pressure, they feel a tremendous pressure on them, often from family members and boyfriends due to poverty or due to lack of opportunity. And so when the abortion clinics try to take advantage of the women in the inner cities, we're reacting to where they've already located. We're reaching the poorest of the poor women, and we're offering them the free services and help that they often are unaware is available. We can get them free medical care, free housing, free assistance in raising their children, or give them the information to make a good choice about an adoption, if that would be a possibility for them. So we're enabling the poor and the disadvantaged to make good choices with good information. We're also helping them to understand the complications that can arise for them physically, emotionally, psychologically after an abortion. They often are not aware of the studies that are out there about the long-term impact an abortion can have on their lives.
14-year-old Pamela and her friend came by for non-pregnancy related needs, but before long, the two began talking with EMC's counselors about the negative impact abortion is having on their community. The girls say they want to help.
We want to talk to teenagers like us, because they don't think. They just think that to have sex is fun and whatever, but they don't know that when go over there and kill the baby, they don't know how. They're taking somebody's life. Yeah, they're taking somebody's life.
We're not there to judge or condemn or to in any way make it more difficult for the mother in her crisis pregnancy situation. We're there to enable her to have a happier, healthy life.
Coming up, the team shares what motivates them.
My mom had me when she was 17. That's fairly young. That's very young. But she managed.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
We spent a day on the streets of New York City following a pro-life mobile ultrasound clinic housed in a retrofitted RV throughout the Bronx. Chris Slattery began the project to reach women in crisis pregnancies just before they enter an abortion facility. But Chris says sidewalk counseling is just part of a long-term, ongoing relationship between women and the crisis pregnancy centers. Chris, how would you see EMC as combating pro-life stereotypes?
We're, the movement is criticized for being only in love with the fetus. We're fetus lovers, all right? This is laughable. You can't help an unborn child without helping his or her mother. You can't have a conversation with an unborn child. You can't hold an unborn child. You have to serve the unborn child's mom and dad. And, it's kind of absurd that you can actually separate the child from its parent. The fact is, we're the ones putting the effort and the emphasis on researching the harm and hurt that happens to women. We're a very pro-woman movement. Now, I can't make excuses for the fact that I'm a man, but all my counseling staff are female, all our paid counseling staff. We do have some male volunteers. This is really a women-led movement of compassion. There are women that do 95% of the counseling. It's very pro-woman, very pro-family, very pro-American. And this is what our country was founded on. Associations of people coming together to help the most vulnerable, hurting people in the society. And I can't think of a more vulnerable woman